Hey everybody, this is Nora from Nori Lori's Keto and Health, and today I'm bringing you a recipe. As you can see, my zucchini here. We are going to be using zucchini today. We're going to make salt and vinegar zucchini chips. So if you're missing chips and you really like salt and vinegar, then this is something that you're going to want to try. Now, it's not my recipe, so I'm going to be linking the recipe down in the description, so be looking for that. I am modifying the recipe because I found that the recipe just didn't work, or I didn't like the way that it was. Like, I thought it had too much oil, and after they were dehydrated, they still had a lot of oil on them. So I'm not using as much oil today, so we're going to do this modification, and I'm going to show you how to do all of this step by step, so stay tuned. Alright everybody, so we just got 4 simple ingredients that goes with this recipe. Obviously we're going to be doing the zucchini here. We're wanting to cut up enough to make 4 cups. I've got some sea salt already grinded up because I didn't think you would really want to watch me grind that up. It's going to be about 2 teaspoons. I noticed that you really don't have to use the whole amount, just use what you think coats it well. We're also going to be using avocado oil. It calls for 2 tablespoons. We'll only be using 1 tablespoon today. And we're going to be using some white balsamic vinegar today. We will be using 2 tablespoons on that just to get that nice vinegary taste in it today. Alright, so stay tuned. I'm going to show you how to do this. Alright, so the first step we're going to do is we're going to mix the oil and the white balsamic vinegar together. So like I said, I'm going to be using 1 tablespoon. The original recipe does call for 2, but I just find that it's too much oil, so I've modified it. And then we're going to use 2 tablespoons of this balsamic white vinegar. Alright, it's got a really nice rich vinegar taste, but being with this balsamic, it is also going to have a little bit of a sweet taste to it. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to give this a little bit of a mix, and I'm just going to set it over here to the side. So next, we've got to cut up our zucchini. I am going to start with the biggest one. They do make really nice chips. So, now, with this, you can use a food processor to cut this, to cut out some time and, of course, make it easier. You can use a mandolin, or you can just make some really thin cuts. And today, I'm just going to use a knife and try to get them as thin as possible. When you do put them in the dehydrator, it's not a big deal if they're a little bit on the thicker side. They still crisp down pretty good. So, I'm going to cut this to get enough of 4 cups. Okay, so it's been just a little bit longer than 10 minutes. I already got 2 trays of my zucchini chips going here. So I was just going to show you the process on the last one. Now, you do not have to dehydrate this, so if you don't have a dehydrator, that is fine. You can actually put it in the oven at 350 degrees and bake it for 2 to 3 hours. And they should come out nice and crisp for you. Now, here in the dehydrator, I'm going to be cooking it at 135 degrees for anywhere between 8 and 12 hours. So, more than likely tonight, these will be getting done sometime, well, probably around midnight. But since I've already made these once, I already know how they're going to turn out and about how much time they need in my dehydrator. So, and as you can see, there is some juice down here left. So these last ones should be really nice and saturated with the vinegary taste. And here's the last one. Alright, so after you get them on your dehydrator here, this is where you're going to be sprinkling the sea salt on top of it. And, you know, the sea salt has got another purpose too besides making it really tasty. And that's to help bring out that little last moisture that's in those zucchinis, because zucchinis are full of moisture. So that'll help bring it up too while you're either baking it or dehydrating it. So this is the process. It's really, really simple. The longest part is waiting for them to get finished so that you can try them. And I'll be back with the finished product and we'll do a taste test. Hey everybody, welcome back. It's the next day. Our zucchini chips have finished dehydrating. I just want to put a note out there. It did take a little bit longer than the 12 hours that's suggested in the recipe. I actually had to do 15 hours. I don't know if elevation or altitude has anything to do with that. I do live in the mountains, so that may make cooking temps or dehydration temps vary. So just keep that in mind. But here is the finished product. It's pretty good. Very good. It's only got a slight vinegary taste to it. It's really mild. The sea salt really comes through on it. It's really good. But it definitely has got that sweet taste to it. So it's like a sweet and savory because we use the balsamic white vinegar instead of just a regular vinegar. Comes through really, really nice. Something I didn't show in the prepping part of the video was I actually do weigh the zucchini so that I can put it in my carb manager when I'm creating that recipe, so I can figure out exactly what my macros are going to be. And I'm going to insert those macros right here. Alright, so talking about putting things in the carb manager, serving sizes and the carbs, let's talk about that. So like I said, I weighed these before I cooked them and I weighed them after I dehydrated them. And I think that the net weight came up to 55 grams, 56 grams, and that would mean that was 6.5 grams per serving. This recipe does make 8 servings. So if you're the only person in your house that's doing keto, or the only person it's not going to turn their nose up to zucchini chips or hearing that, you can definitely half this recipe. Another thing is you do need to store them in an airtight container. I use a glass and lock container. But around 2 to 3 days, they do kind of get slightly rubbery, which is okay. You can do 2 things to crisp them up. One is using the oven at your lowest heating degrees. I think it's 200. And you can put them in there for 30 minutes and they'll crisp right back up. Now, if you're like me and it's summer and you don't want to heat up your kitchen, you can use the air fryer. And I preheated that at 200 degrees for 10 minutes, and then I cooked them for 3 to 4 minutes at 200 degrees, and that crisped them up really nice too. So, hopefully this recipe will wow you in its taste and easiness. It is kind of a prep and you can kind of walk away from it. Those trays do need to be rotated about every 2 hours to keep evenness in the cooking or the dehydration process. If you are doing it in the oven, you may just want to keep an eye on it. They may need to be flipped through halfway through, or you may need to flip them a couple of times. It's going to be totally up to you and what you think that you need to do, because the recipe really doesn't say one way or another. And I've only dehydrated these. I've actually not cooked them in the oven because it's summer and 3 hours with the oven on is going to heat my kitchen up tremendously. So I haven't tried it that way. I am going to be putting all my modifications and hacks down in the description. And if you like this video and you want to see more videos like this, give me a thumbs up, like it, and subscribe. And I'm going to be trying to put out recipe videos at least every 2 weeks. Once I get more of a schedule and get used to doing this new thing of YouTube, I'm hoping to do a recipe video once a week. So stay tuned, and like I said, like and subscribe.